president who was working hand in hand with the West. Today, what happened to Nigeria? Nigerians going to BRICS summit, they were not accepted in BRICS. Why? Because Nigeria, is not Nigerians, but as the government we call Nigeria, that is, the government of Nigeria is a threat to African liberation. That's why they rejected them from joining the BRICS. Nigeria, the last BRICS summit, Nigeria went there with an application of joining BRICS. It was cancelled. They must reapply again. Why do Nigerian application to join BRICS was cancelled? Why? Because Russia have seen Nigeria as a threat. Because Russia trying to show Africans away, and Nigeria, as Nigerian government, the chairman of ECOWAS, standing to block that way. Do you think Russia is not knowing that? Do you think Russia is not calculating that into their own mission? That is a mission of Russia. So if, as Nigerian president, the ECOWAS chairman, who stood up with the West, and the West using him to destroy the plan of Russia, and you expect Russia to accept the Nigerian government application to join BRICS, it is not possible. That's why it was rejected. So that is bringing Nigeria to a mess. One man is bringing Nigeria to a big mess. You see, that's why a lot of the Nigerians, when they are talking about, hey, our president is this, our president is good, you don't understand. You are destroying yourself, not that president, not people's. Supporting that president in Nigeria, you are destroying yourself, because that president hold your economy. He feed his family with your economy. He feed himself with your economy. He can never be poor. You poor citizens will suffer when any difficulties come to that country. You have to understand that point. When any difficulties came into Nigeria, the Nigerian citizens will suffer. And still we have some Nigerian citizens who say, no, don't talk about our president. Bola Tinubu is a good president. But today, Nigeria has been rejected from joining BRICS. Any difficulties that came in Nigeria today, you who is supporting Bola Tinubu, you will suffer, but Bola Tinubu will not suffer. Bola Tinubu family will not suffer. They will still enjoy your own tax money. You pay tax no matter how you are poor. Bola Tinubu is still forcing you to pay tax. And you are supporting him, dying for him. But you are still poor and suffering. In that difficulty, you are still paying taxes. Those taxes the government is enjoying. Understand this point. So whatever sufferation that Bola Tinubu will cause in Nigeria, you, the peoples, will suffer. The citizens will suffer. But Bola Tinubu will not suffer. That's why we go against these puppets and these peoples who become a threat to African liberation. That's why we go against them. Because we are not seeing them. We are not seeing ourselves. Because as for me, I can sit down in my house and go to my work every day and come back home and sleep. I will move on with my life. No matter what the government do, will not make me suffer, because I will hustle and make my money. But how many poor people are living in that country with hope that the government is going to do best, and the government is going to choose best part for them, that is gonna make the country easier for them? But as you supporting Bola Tinubu, and now BRICS, but Nigerian Bola Tinubu, the same Bola Tinubu. But why did Bola Tinubu was not the one who went to BRICS with the application? He sent someone. He couldn't go because he felt guilty by himself, because he know the actions he made. Bola Tinubu cannot go by himself in South Africa with BRICS, with the application to join BRICS. Bola Tinubu cannot go by himself. He know what he did. So he sent someone, and that person was rejected. The Nigerian application to join BRICS was rejected. Italian application to join BRICS was rejected. Why? Because Italy is a Western country. So all Western countries are threat to BRICS. They must not join BRICS. And any African country that is in support of the West, or you are in hand in hand working with the West, you will not be accepted in BRICS, because you are an enemy of BRICS. And you are an enemy of Africa. Any African country. That's why Nigerian application to join BRICS was rejected. They may reapply again. We see what we can do. But it will be rejected. And it was rejected. They may reapply again. They have the chance to reapply again for joining BRICS. Al-Kablan need to have its own vision. Until Al-Kablan unite as one currency, no border, etc., we can depend on other countries. We can't depend on other countries. We must stand independently. Good. A very good comment. I love that comment. You know, that's nice, you know. Al-Kablan need to have its own vision. Until Al-Kablan unite as one. That unity, we have been crying for that unity. But how did Al-Kablan is going to be united? Is Al-Kablan going to be united by itself? My brother, your comment, I want to expand it a little bit. Is Al-Kablan going to unite on its own? I think people living in Al-Kablan need to unite that Al-Kablan. Who are those people living in Al-Kablan? We. So when we unite, Al-Kablan is united. When we divide, Al-Kablan is no more united. So we need to deal with ourselves and try to make sure that that unity stands. The unity we are crying for. And that is the fact, one thing in your comment. That we cannot make it if we are not united. Africa can never be free. This is why they put borders. This is why they make more currencies. For us to remain where we are. When we understand that that is a strategy and that is just like a padlock. To unite us is a padlock. More currencies in Africa is the key to that padlock. So when you understand this, a padlock and a key. So we know the padlock and we have the key. So why can't we use the key and unlock the padlock and be united as one and move forward and develop ourselves? If the padlock that lock Africa is the unity, then the key to that padlock is the currencies, many currencies in Africa. Why can't we use that and unite and free ourselves? We can free ourselves, just that we still believe that getting united is not the best thing. We have Africans who hate themselves and hate Africa and appreciate the West more than themselves. Like ECOWAS leaders who gather together to make sure that because they want the West to be happy about ECOWAS. They don't want the West to be angry about them. ECOWAS leaders are leaders who want the West to be happy about them, for the West to say, oh, you people are doing a great job. But they don't want we the Africans to tell them that, oh, ECOWAS, you people are doing a great job. They don't feel the same when we tell them that ECOWAS leaders are not doing a great job for Africa and they are a coward in Africa. They don't feel the same of that. But if the West tell them that you, the ECOWAS leaders, are not doing a great job, they will feel the same. So that's why we are commanded by the West, used by the West, because ECOWAS is a project built by the West and constructed by the West. Every rule and regulation in ECOWAS is formed by the West. None of rule and regulation in ECOWAS being formed by any African leader. Name one African leader who will tell you that I was sitting when we write down the rule and the regulation of ECOWAS. It was a letter. It was written as a letter sent to them to read and accept. Africa cannot form their own rules. Africa cannot form their own union. African Union was formed by West. Every constitution, rule and regulation in African Union was not built by any African leader, was built by the West. They will write it and seal it as a paper, as letter, and send it to African leaders. They have to just read and accept by force. Read it and accept. Either you like it or not, you must accept. That's how they did to Africa. And that's how they treat Africa. Well, my peoples, I will leave you here. I will continue in Facebook in the evening, around 6 o'clock by the grace of God. I will continue in Facebook. We will continue where we stop. We will continue this topic where we stop. By the grace of God. I accept everyone watching me for you wasting your precious time. May God bless you all. May God save you all. Wherever you are, may God save you. Whatever your enemies plan against you shall never prosper. And whatever African enemies plan against Africa shall never prosper, shall go back to sender. If they plan war against Africa, shall go back to sender. If they plan poverty on Africa, shall go back to sender. And wherever you are as a black African watching me right now, may God give us all good health and long life and prosperity. Wherever you are right now watching me, whatever you are hustling or whatever is your intention to do or to have, may God make it easier for everyone out there. May God save us from enemies. May God save us from bad peoples. May God save us from accidents. Every accident that is in front of you, may it be scattered. May God save us all and give us all good health, long life, and prosperity. Thank you guys for being with me. May God bless you all. Thank you guys.